It's Ken Rakowski. Welcome back to the Voice of Disruption, where we are here to help you disrupt yourself by meeting disruptors. And this is one right here. This is Mark Verge, who I've known for a long time. And Mark, in my mind, you're probably one of the most connected guys in Los Angeles.
Oh gosh, I'm probably the uncoolest guy in LA.
I didn't say cool, I said connected.
Uncool and unconnected. A little bit connected.
Yeah, but that's something that takes a
people
lot of time. And being connected is different than being networked.
Yeah,
Don't you
definitely
agree?
not networked.
What's the difference?
I think you can't try to get a value out of any relationship. You just try to connect other people. That's what we do. We connect everybody, and without ever making a dime off of it.
I think there's a byproduct of it, right? It's not direct, where networking is about what's the ROI right now, where connecting is about long-term relationships.
Yeah, and I think also it's very honest, like when Ken and I get along so well, because we both would call guys out who are full of it.
It's true.
So that's what we got along. Like, I
That's
hate
true.
that guy. I hate him too.
But then you also create some type of enemy or whatever it is.
Exactly.
Hey, let's real quick talk about you. Mark Verge, you are an LA native. Actually, I just learned 4 or 5 generations
Yeah,
Los
about 4,
Angeles.
yeah, my dad, my grandfather. So they...
Generally, guys like you want to leave.
No, LA's the best. Don't ever leave
Why
LA.
do you say that?
I think you have everything. We used to have a rental company. I'd tell everyone you can find anything you want, from the greatest mountains, greatest oceans. You can get shot and you can buy crack. All in 20 minutes.
All right here.
Welcome to LA. But no,
And a lot of times you almost act as if you're the accidental entrepreneur.
that's true.
You feel like you should not have achieved what you have.
I've been very lucky, and probably being surrounded by a bunch of rich kids in Santa Monica that made me work hard when my dad was a teacher with 6 kids and we were poor. So.
Now, many people, especially if they've been watching TV, they see Jeffrey, Goldblum do this advertisement for this thing called apartments.com.
That's right.
And he's the spokesperson for this incredible website that allows people to find a place to live. That company bought your business called Westside Rentals, which was really the staple to find a place to live in Los Angeles.
That's what it was. Yep.
And you built it out to be what kind of business?
We just went after trying to I kissed every landlord's butt in Los Angeles to list their properties for free. And that's what we did. And then CoStar came along. CoStar owns LoopNet, apartments.com, and they came on and made me a nice offer, so I took it. And
Was this your first big business?
no, we had a company called Wilshire Coin, and we used to buy and sell gold and silver. That was the first business I had.
So diverse.
Try everything. It makes money.
And today, you're in the hospitality industry.
More neighborhood restaurants, that's more just fun.
It's not fun.
It's fun.
It makes money.
It makes a little money, but
It makes a lot of money.
We do small little hotels and little restaurants, and it's fun.
So the reason why I wanted you here is because the whole accidental entrepreneur really means is you aspire to just have a normal life.
Right.
You're not ostentatious. You're not driving a flashy car. You live a normal life. You in a lot of ways, you say you're a pretty boring guy.
I'm a pretty boring guy. Married to the same girl since high school.
Right.
I don't cheat on my wife. I just cruise along, love every group, because in LA you have every group, and you find out very quickly in LA the people are nice, you hang out with them, whether black, white, Mexican, Chinese, whatever. But if they're not, it's treat them the same way. So in LA it's a nice little group of everyone, it's all about respect here.
Well, wouldn't that be anywhere?
No, what, middle America? Crazy.
No?
No, I don't think so. Not what I've seen in
Well, if
the
you
South.
are talking to the whole world right now, what can you take from what you've learned here and say, hey, this is a general way of actually learning to connect with people? What is a general rule of thumb for you?
I think it's neat here, especially with the Hispanic population, is everybody wants the same thing. Your busboy wants the same thing as we want. They want to provide for their family, have great schools. Everyone wants the same thing. And I think that's what a neat thing. I was CEO of Santa Anita. I was running the racetrack. And I used to give my busboys tickets to the track. And every Sunday they'd come out, but they got to be the man. Like they brought their family out and they got beers for their friends. And it hit me. It's like everyone wants the same thing.
And that is to provide.
Everyone wants to make money and provide. I mean, make money. That's what we want to do. We want to have the best house. We want to have the best car. Everyone wants to make money.
Yeah, but that means you always have to achieve something better than what you had
Outwork
before.
everybody.
Right?
That's
you
what
do.
you got to do. As an entrepreneur, as you and I both know, you have to outwork everybody.
I love these 2 words, predictable and consistent. Right? Every restaurant I would go to be predictable and consistent, high level predictability, consistently being always good, right?
That'd be great.
How do you do that for yourself? How are you predictable and consistent?
You know, I'll probably deliver in that with the family first.
Families first.
First, and then friends. And so that's where it all starts.
But your family life is number 1. It's paramount.
Yeah, by far.
Before you got here, you actually drove your kids to school.
Yeah, that's
Right?
it. Look at you. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a consistent thing you will always do.
You have to do that. And I think, though, I think we always forget we want these goals of making money and everything, and that's great. But our best relationships are family, and there's a study by Harvard, was done 84 years ago. The guy who started the study is dead. But he said the thing that makes you happiest is your interpersonal relationships. And he's right. I mean, I've bought everything and I've had the money, everything. But if you have a fight with your wife or your daughter or your son or your friend, that hurts you a lot more than losing a business deal or getting a class action lawsuit. And I know all about those.
Yeah, I know you do. So as you look,
That's a joke.
No,
laugh,
it's
you
not.
guys.
Mark
There we
Mark
go.
Verge is
Finally.
joining us. So Mark, you look at somebody that's coming into this whole entrepreneur thing. If they don't have a core, like you just mentioned, is that a downside, or is there something they have to do to actually find that core to allow them to move forward?
Well, I think there's got to be something neat about learning and not to start a business over greed. And you and I see it all the time. That's the greatest idea. I got to open a coffee shop because Starbucks does. You have no shot. You have to do it with a passion and the goal of delivering something great, and then the money will follow. But I think these guys who want to jump in, it's always late to the game, and you can tell they're not hungry for the right passion. You got to have the passion, whatever you do.
But money should not be the top thing.
Never, because it's never going to happen if you're chasing money.
Passion is what's going to
would
get a
think.
byproduct of being money, right?
Exactly.
How many times have you failed?
Oh, God, countless. God, I got in the bar business, and I was fired by Santa Anita. I tried to take over the racetrack world, and I got fired, which was beautiful because I learned how to treat my employees much better, understanding that in the morning they weren't thinking about me. At the time, I thought they did, but they have to care about themselves and their bank account. And I found out employee rewards and that relationship is so meaningful when you start a business, especially a startup, because you think everyone's as crazy as you. You think everyone wants to work 24 hours a day. No, they need to pay the rent. They have kids. And Springsteen said it best. He's like, I'm looking at all these other guys, they don't work as hard. And the guy said, I got kids at home. And he said it hit him. But people have lives outside of making music.
Right.
So you got to understand that.
So as you look at your friend base, are they your fans also?
Ooh, I doubt it. No, not my friends. All my buddies are from like 6th and 7th grade.
Wow,
Most of my crew
that's
has been a
incredible.
while for a
Wow.
while, are guys I life crewed with 20 years ago. So I have a pretty unique crew.
But are they your fans in business? Do they want to
doubt
support
it.
you? Do you work with your
Probably.
friends?
A little bit. I do a bunch of buying and selling racehorses with Doug O'Neill, and he's won 2 derbies, 2 Kentucky derbies, and we've had a lot of fun, a lot of losses. We've lost a lot of money.
But you told me you hate having partners.
I'm not a big fan of partners, but I do have a great partner. Sid Moses is probably the top bar guy in the world. So he's a partner of mine. I had a partner in Westside Rentals. It's Kevin Miller. We just sold that, and we sold the Shore Bar. So I have a few.
But again,
it takes a
you
while.
said, I remember, partnership is something you like to stay away
Especially
from.
not in startups. You can't have, I mean, it's,
You
got
don't think it's necessary?
It's just, who's going to outwork you? So, and then I just think partnerships are tough. I advise against them, especially in startups.
Who do you admire? Who's your idol?
Wow, that's a good question. Who would it be? I think Paul Newman. That was pretty neat. He never cheated on his wife. He donated all his proceeds for all the different groups that he started to charity. He was a neat guy.
Paul Newman.
He never cheated on his wife. He said, why go have chicken when I have steak at home?
You believe in that?
Yeah, you should.
I mean, well, that's not generally the philosophy of most people that we meet.
I don't think so. I think we just hear about the bad people. I think there's a lot of guys who are faithful and probably getting yelled at by their wives at home.
You are not active on social media.
I'm not that big. I probably just don't know how to do it. My daughter made up an Instagram thing for me, and I still don't know how to follow it. The Mark Verge.
But you're not really doing anything. Is it
No.
deliberate or just because you don't want to know it?
I probably just never. I've had the ability really not to care about many people's thoughts about me, except for my family and my friends. I really don't care. It's like I've gone through that life. You know, I had the biggest nose in class. I never really cared. So
I don't even
don't bring me
notice
to a cocaine party. It'd be terrible.
It'd be like
I'd
a
ruin that
smorgasbord
thing.
for
Another
you.
joke, boys.
So, Mark, there you go. Okay. So, Mark, you look at this whole infrastructure of Los Angeles. Have you made enemies along the way?
Wow. Probably. Yeah, I
Do
guess.
you know who they are?
No, maybe Bob Baffert. He's a trainer who hates me, but I don't really care.
But do you know your enemies?
No,
Is it
probably not.
important to know your enemies?
No, you're judged by the people who hate you, so who cares? I don't think you got to make some enemies. What is it? That's a Paul Newman line. If you don't have any enemies, you don't have any character.
I'm just curious because a lot of people say, you know what, I don't want to deal with them. I hate them, or they're not going to cooperate with me. Knowing who your enemy is that a positive, or do you think maybe
Don't worry about that. No.
Don't worry about it.
Who cares?
Do you know who your allies are?
Yeah, I would think so.
Do they ever flip?
Probably not. I'm not sure. I really haven't had that problem. I really haven't.
So I give you $1 billion today,
Oh, jeez.
and you get to invest into something.
My wife just left me. It's
No,
amazing.
no. What do you do with the billion?
Another joke!
No. What do you do with the billion?
I wouldn't even think about it. What would you do with $1 billion? Well, I would think you'd have to carve off a lot of that for charity and think
Well, let's
about
just
how
know
you
you
can
have to
help.
invest it.
Invest.
You invest it. Where would you go?
LA real estate?
You would still
Yes,
continue.
micro units here. Everyone's moving here. Yes,
Because
micro units.
that's your sweet spot right now.
I do micro units. I love that kind of shared living, co-living spot.
You're doing that now, right?
I'm doing that now, and people pay ungodly amounts of money to be here.
It's pretty amazing where Santa Monica specifically is almost rivaling what New York is.
Crazy.
Manhattan,
It's crazy.
Right?
Yep.
And you've seen it go from nothing to something.
And also, I think it's neat because everyone drinks the same latte. So you can have the biggest house in Santa Monica, or you can stay in a tiny, single studio, but we all meet at the same coffee shop and nobody cares.
Right.
So it's interesting. I think that if I had $1 billion and had to triple it, I'd buy in little micro units and just create, Fremantle's doing it now. A couple of these hostel groups are putting things nomad, these little small hotel groups, but they're going nuts.
I don't want to talk about national politics, but let's talk more local.
I
Does
don't
that affect,
vote. I don't
No, but does
vote.
that affect you, what's going on in local politics wherever you're at?
Not for me, but
No?
I'm the worst. I could care less.
No, not you voting, but zoning issues or politicians trying to get in your way.
That's the rule of the game. That's the game. That's the game. Your rules are if you can only sell alcohol till 2 in the morning, that's the rule. And everyone wants to fight and argue about who's the best president. It doesn't matter. That's the rule. Find out the rule and play the game.
Got it. So
It's just like sports.
yeah, and which you love too.
Love
I mean, you're a sports guy, you're a family guy, and you're an entrepreneur. And
That's
you,
it.
You can't care
And I'm
about
a
it.
mess.
You're not a mess. I know. One of my favorite things is, Mark, what do you have in your pocket?
Oh, God. Do you want to
got?
see it?
Yeah,
God,
what do you
that's
got?
how I
This
start
last
every...
thing real quick.
Guys,
What do we got?
I don't know. That's
That's
my
it.
mess. And there's gum in here. Marjorie dies. Owner's thing.
This is it. That's
I'm a
Mark's life. But
I start every business school talk like this. You can be better than me. Look at this. This is my... Look at that. What a loser. You can make more money than me.
no, you do need a new driver's license photo. Mark Verge, I appreciate you hanging out with us, disrupting
always
yourself
fun.
by, of course, learning from people that are disrupting themselves. Mark Verge, we have a lot more coming up. You are hanging out with us right here on The Voice of Disruption. We'll be right back.